Hi, welcome to Kim's Kitchen and another edition of the Real Women of Philadelphia Cream Cheese Show. I'm Kim Doyle-Willie, and today I'm going to be preparing an entree called roasted veggie and cheese strudel with tomato coulis. First off, I'm going to teach you how to chop some garlic. I just take my garlic, I take my knife and I pound it. That way the skins release really quickly. We can just get these sticky little shells right off of there. Get that all in there. Then I take a little bit of kosher salt, because if you look at kosher salt, it looks like little knife edges, and I figured, boy, that'd help cut the garlic a lot faster. Then I take a little drizzle of olive oil over it, and that helps keep it from sticking to the knife. I pound it, that releases the flavors really good, and then I go ahead and chop. So today, I want to give a big shout out to Philadelphia Cream Cheese for sponsoring this contest, and for Paula Dean, thank you so much for teaming up and giving all of these great women such a wonderful opportunity. Now, if you see, that garlic took only a second to mince up. We're going to go ahead and transfer it to this little bowl here. Bing! Just like that. Well, kind of just like that. In this pan, I already put the 1 cup of onions. I've got the 4 cloves of garlic in there, and I just put in 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. I'm just stirring that around really quickly to get that all integrated. It'll work a lot better. Those onions are starting to turn transparent. That's what we want. We don't want the garlic burning. Garlic burned tastes bitter, as we all know. So we've got that tomato sauce all integrated. I'm just going to go ahead and pour in this entire can of chopped tomatoes. I found a really nice fire roasted one by Muir Organics. So we've got that going. We're going to go ahead and put in our 2 bay leaves, our teaspoon of oregano, our teaspoon of sage, and our ½ teaspoon of thyme. We'll stir that all up, and we're going to go ahead and stick that under the broiler for a few minutes. Get that all nice and stirred. Oh, it smells delicious already. It's just so fresh. Now, in case you were wondering what a tomato coulis is, that is a French term. It means a vegetable puree. It'll look lovely and it tastes awesome with this strudel. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop this under the broiler, and we'll just stir it every few minutes. I've taken a greased 8x8 pan. In here, I've got the 1 cup of chopped veggies, the squash, bell peppers, asparagus, onions, and I added an additional ½ cup of onions and bell peppers. It was a 3-pepper mix. We stir that garlic all in there. We've got the 1/4 cup of celery. We're going to stir that around in there too. And now we're going to pop that in the oven too. And the way I thought of this, I made this recipe so I could use fresh vegetables out of my garden. They're just bountiful. And I originally made it with Boursin cheese. But I decided for this contest that I'd go ahead and replace it with garlic and herb cream cheese. But our local Kroger's discontinued it during this contest. So I've switched now, and we're going to make it instead with the Philadelphia garden vegetable cream cheese. We love our Philly. And mix our cream cheese. This was an 8-ounce package that I just left out at room temperature, so it's nice and soft to work with. We're going to take 1/2 cup of cottage cheese. And then we're going to go ahead and put our walnuts in. I've lightly crushed up a few caraway seeds. This was a ½ teaspoon. We're going to throw that in there. Next, we're just going to stir it all up and get it all rocking and rolling. The veggies are nice and goldened up. They've all cooked through. So we're going to just put that there for a second. We're going to remove the coulis. See how nice and brown it got on top there? It's just beautiful. We're going to go ahead and put this back on top of the stove. We're going to turn off the broiler. We're going to put it on bake and bump it up to 400 degrees. Okay, that's looking good. We're going to turn that heat back on, and we're going to just put it on low. We're going to cover that. We'll check it every few minutes. It takes about 20 minutes. We're back here at the main counter, and I'm going to take my roasted veggies and just put them out on my butcher board. You should know that I did clean my butcher board a couple weeks ago when I started this contest. To clean your butcher board, you just 1 part water to 4 parts white vinegar to sanitize your counter. If you have any smells in it, you can always use lemon juice for that. Then I use mineral oil, and I give it several coats. You don't want to use linseed oil, you don't want to use vegetable oil, because they actually capture germs and bacteria, and we'll pass it on to your other food. Our vegetables are all chopped up. See how nice and fine they are? We're just going to add those right into our bowl with the cheeses and the caraway seeds and the walnuts. Just scrape that right off of there, get all that goodness off the counter, and then we're just going to stir it all up. Doesn't that look beautiful? So now we've got our phyllo dough all out. I take 2 layers at a time, 1/3 cup of melted butter, and I just brush that on really quickly. See how those corners were starting to come up, and that butter just laid it on down. Then we're going to take 2 more sheets of phyllo dough. Just slather that on. And the last layer. There we go. This is so nice and flaky and wonderful, and it has such great flavors. Our next step is assembling the strudel. We're just going to scoop this out onto the strudel, but you want to kind of bring it closer to you so that we can roll it up. Now we're going to fold in the ends, just like you're rolling a package of meat or a burrito. See, that's why I put another towel down too, because this can assist you. It looks like we're going to have a messy one here. I am going to take another piece of phyllo and put it over the bottom. I grabbed another couple of pieces of phyllo dough because I left that juice in it because I do like it juicy. And I'm just going to go ahead and butter it up. We'll just tuck these edges right under. I've greased a pan here. You can use anywhere from a 13 by 9 by 2 pan upwards. And we're just going to move this whole thing to our pan. You just roll that phyllo under there. It is a little runnier than I normally like, but I like it juicy, and it all looks the same later on. Now we're just going to take a teaspoon of sesame seeds and sprinkle them over. Last time, poppy seeds all ended up in one place because the shaker was open, and see how lovely that looks. Now we're going to stick that in the oven. Earlier I said it was a 400-degree oven. It's actually 420. So this is going to go in the oven for about 20, maybe 25 minutes until it's golden brown. This is already done. See how thick it's gotten? It's browning on the bottom. While I see that bay leaf, I'm going to go ahead and remove the bay leaves because next we're just going to put it through the blender. I've pulled the strudel out of the oven. It's beautiful golden brown. I've put the coulis in the blender. We're going to give it a couple of quick short bursts, blend it all up. We're going to just give it a stir. It came out really thick. Oh, it smells divine. The garlic, the spices, everything. This serves 4 people as an entree, so we'll just split it down the middle right now. It's just lovely. It's got the great color of the vegetables and the garden vegetable cream cheese. Isn't that awesome? I just love Philadelphia cream cheese, don't you? I've got a nice little yellow plate here. I'm going to go ahead and spoon out some coulis. You can tell I'm not French, can't you? So see how nice and thick that is? It stands up beautifully. Let's take this center hunk right out of there. Look at that ooey gooey cheesy goodness there. We're going to put it on top of the plate. I like the idea of putting it on a red plate because it kind of sets it off. I've got some chopped fresh parsley, oregano, and sage here. We're just going to sprinkle it on over the plate. I kind of like it on the yellow too. And then I found my old John Deere tin, and while I was in a break, I took the melted butter and some chive and onion cream cheese, and I decided to make a couple croutons with it. So here's some croutons with that. And I also left some plain multigrain bread in case people didn't want it as a crouton. We'll take our napkin just like that, and voila. Doesn't that look delicious? I can't wait anymore. Everything's made better with Philadelphia cream cheese, and this looks so creamy and delicious. Let's just take a quick bite. You are not going to believe the flavor of this, Paula. That is awesome. Oh, that is really good. I'm going to have lunch now. Thank you for, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go out and every day share your joy, share your love, share your passion for cooking. Just go out in your neighborhood and share your meals. There are people going hungry every day. And thank you for coming to Kip's Kitchen. Big shout out again to Philadelphia cream cheese. It wouldn't be the same. We love Philadelphia. Thanks again, and next time we'll be making a dessert.